Welcome back to another Unstoppable Recap. You know, I say it all the time that sometimes the people in your life who you expect would be there to make things better for you turn out to be the ones who actually make your life a living hell. Family and friends. Yeah. Family and friends in some cases worse than total strangers, worse than your worst enemy. Now, this young lady right here shared on Unstoppable Live that, growing up, she had a very horrible life. She was ill all the time, unexplainable sicknesses, right? And she felt as if, according to her, she felt as if it was her family and her friends who did work some kind of voodoo on her, as doctors couldn't explain what was going on with her. And not only that, she was also abused, not only physically, but also sexually by who she says were family members, friends, people from the community. People, listen to this one right here that was shared on Unstoppable Live.
I have roots from living in St. Thomas in Portmanscarna. That's when I was a toddler. And then I moved to Portmore. And, my mom, she originally came from Tavern. So I was back and forth from Portmore to Tavern. When I was in just transitioning from basic school to primary school, that's when I get to understand that, oh my goodness, I'm being abused, molested by my own family member. You understand? And I locked it inside. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell my mother. I didn't tell nobody at all. So I kept it in. I was abused right up from a toddler right up. Anyways, I was at school, had a group of girls, girlfriends that I used to share anything with. And, I used to move with them. I used to top my class as a student. You understand? One evening particularly, we were going to the library. And when we reached up to the library, and I went in the bathroom and I looked and I realized that my clips were missing. But I wasn't really paying it any mind. But I was saying to myself, but I never gave anybody my clips. And I realized that every week when my mother fixed up my hair, because I had good body hair, mix, like maroon, nice long hair. I say, who my clip them are missing? So we finish our work, gone about our business, and the next day, we're at school, doing our assignments and stuff like that. Then out of the blues, which is my best friend, she said to me, Shade, I can't take it no more. Me ever take out the clip them out of your ear? So I turn to her and say, so why are you doing that? And you know that I'm not a mean person. I'm sharing, so why you never ask me? So I was looking at her and she chuckled. She laughed. I never paid any mind. On and on going, I started to you're young, you never really understand those things, but I was kind of distancing myself in a nutshell, And then, however, she came over to my desk and said, some other uncle, him do crafty things. So I say, what do you mean about crafty things? She said, him work witchcraft. I said, witchcraft? Here no obia. And she looked at me, I could guilt in her eyes, like she knew what she was doing, but God was so good that God allowed her to talk so I can distance myself. Trust me, listeners. I came out of the classroom and I went in the bathroom. I can remember it like this day. I cried so till. I was saying to myself, but why this young girl would do something like this to me? You understand? All of us, we were friends. We share everything together. We eat, we laugh. You understand? Huh? After that, no, the 8th grade, taught my class again.
But what was the reason why? What was the reason why she would do something like that? Was it out of envy? What was it?
She was envious because when I came 7th grade, I came first. You understand? And I taught my class. My teachers loved me. So she wasn't even near in the top 10. You understand? So she got envious. After I don't even understand why a friend should be happy for you.
So what was the things, what were some of the things that was happening to you when you said this thing was put on you? You say you was losing hair, stuff like that?
Yes. Afterwards, no, going to school. You understand? I was like losing, my hair started to fall out fall out, and my mom was like, she never really take it to anything, but it got so bad. Right up from
Mm.
8th grade to 9th grade, go straight up to 10th grade. My ears start to fall. It was really bad. I started to spit blood. You understand me? I started to black out. Lost my memory at one point in my life. Series of memory loss. End up in the hospital. You understand? And even where I was living, even though in tavern, family members, you know, um, close friends that I even had in the community, grudge me because I'm one of the top persons in my community. So they start to get envious and jealous and bad mind. I used to lend them a book. You understand me? And I get to understand. So them used to take it and do whatever they want do with it. I hear stories in the community, but one of which again was so bright enough to come to me, to confront me, to say, oh, me bright. So me can
Mm.
bright. So because fair pitney them, me and her same pitney them, got the same school. So oh, me attack my class and she look for me dirty. But my mother, she was such a strong mother. You understand? She didn't have like a backative, someone that will be there for her to help her to pray and fast and fight. She was always God fearing before she got baptized. Jesus have mercy. I don't know which hospital in a Jamaica now have my dockets. My God, I go to chest hospital. One at the time they thought that it was my asthma because like my chest started to tighten up. When they check it out, they said no asthma. Mommy, bring home your daughter. When my hair start to fall out now, they start to give me medications, thinking that I have cancer because my hair start to fall out. Some things start to come up on my body like sores. If you hear the story like in Job, sores started to take up my body. They give me
Mm.
medications and medications, antibiotics. One of my medication cost $10,000, and one of which I couldn't get because it's not here in Jamaica. I have to get it from overseas in the States. My mother start crying because she don't have it. My bank book start get empty now. This is when I finish high school. Bank book get empty. My mother not have any money. So it turned up now, mother confused, not have anywhere to go. My own family member turned their back against me. One of which was my close family member started to work witchcraft. You understand? Bad mind, envious. Because you see, some of my family members, they didn't like come out to anything. They go to traditional high school, and I graduated from Papine High School, being a prefect for 2 years. And I come out in spite of the odds being sick. So them get bad mind and jealous. I start to miss my clothes them when me ask feet. You're lucky. No must say people care to go bury it. And I start to cry because I was young. I never have like a strong person around me other than my mother to stand up and pray. So I start to box of people yard. Again, I couldn't trust my father because he is like bipolar. It was a drunkard. You understand? I couldn't trust him to be around him. This minute is good, this minute is bad. And he threatened to kill us, so we'd have to run for our life. So I was living with this pastor lady, thinking that everything was okay. She had this ministry. I used to go to church with her, prayed for me. Things kind of take a turn, 1, 2 with me. I started to go to nursing school. That was when I just finished high school. I was 16. Hey, 2 weeks after that now, the same C episode started to happen again. As my head started to hurt me when I go in my exams, it's like I remember everything. I start to write my paper. It's like everything get blank. So my lecturer look at me and say, "What happened to you today?" and stuff like that. And I was like, "Miss, I can't remember anything, miss." And I started to cry. So say nothing to go on the paper there. Me try. I have to just walk out, go home. I remember one night when I was at the pastor lady house, I heard some voices. You understand? Like it's just I can't explain it. It's weird. But I know those voices were not of God, telling me to kill myself. I started to see our son, like moving fast, like floating in the room. And our son is not dead. Our son is alive. And our son was in the room sleeping. You understand? And I heard like our son calling me. When I went out, no, I saw like some knives and stuff in the kitchen. Just end your life because nothing now go better.
Mm.
And I was praying. I took up the knife to try to kill myself. And I say, but there was always a spirit inside of me. No, Shade. I was trying to fight it as much as I was just hearing the voices in my head. I started to scream out. At that time, everybody woke up. And the same pastor lady there started to pray. But I don't know. It's like when she started to pray for me, it's like I couldn't get to trust her anymore. I started to get withdrawn. Because I'm like, if I'm with you, you say your Holy Ghost fill. If you pray for me, I'm supposed to be delivered, okay? It's supposed to be clean. Not knowing this lady is sell out her soul, she's in lodge. One night she had some people come in the house, they dress like in some black shawl in the house. I don't know what they were doing, not knowing it was me. It was for chanting some demonic language because that is not of God. You understand? And I started to exclude blood, spit blood and stuff like that. Nobody not even look at me. Nobody, listeners, nobody not pay me no mind. I literally felt like my heart, like it was like going low. And I only could say, Jesus, Jesus, help me. A fighter, I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. I've just give God thanks for even this day. I'm a fighter. Until I started to pray and I said, Jesus, until two of the persons that came at the house tonight, they ran out. And the pastor lady looked at me dirty from head to toe. I'm talking about a pastor. This is real facts. You understand? And she went up her house. She had a wholesaling papi. Anyways, the next morning I pack up my things. Same time I was weak, still excluding blood. I had this towel that I had like a small suitcase that I packed my stuff in. And I was like wiping my mouth. My nose was running blood. And my head, I was feeling excruciating pain. And I threw the knife to her friend, which was the pastor lady. And I didn't have no money. Honestly, not even $1 in my pocket. And I draw my suitcase. When I reach out now on the bus stop in Portmore, I saw the bus and I stopped and I said, Jeff, I don't have any money. And him look at me and he said, lady, you all right? I said, no, sir, I don't have any money. And him said, come in on the bus. Anyways, when I reached in town, I got a phone call. I asked somebody for a credit. And I called my mother. And my mother came for me and she brought me to the hospital in public. They ran tests again. I was still excluding blood. My head was paining me. The only thing they gave me was baralgin. It never worked. They gave me cataflam. It don't work. Them do blood tests. Them do all kind of tests I can think of in this world. Nothing. Them just look at my mother and say, Mommy, we can't help your daughter. Only God alone. My mother have to now bring me back in tavern where I didn't want to go back, where all the witchcraft and the family members were fighting against me. I was there and it got worse. So till now, one night, I can remember everything intact because I lost my memory, but what I can, I will tell you all. I went up to the cistern, there was an assistant there, and I saw a rope. I said, I can't take it no more. And I tied it around my neck, and I shot my knife, and I make one draw, and there was no blood. I can remember it from like today, there was no blood. I knew that there was purpose on my life from a longer time. I knew that there were purpose. My mom called her friend, like blood in her eyes. I'm being figuratively speaking right now. And she cried and she said, Jesus, oh God, help my daughter. We can't take it no more. And as I ready to make the jump now, my mom friend held me. And she's like, no, Shade, you not do it. There's something in store for you. And she held my hand and prayed for me. Anyways, I went to bed and stuff like that. Episodes happened over and over. My mother have to let me leave from tavern. Hand run again a people yard, them take my Cinderella. Here, there, everywhere. Them use me, molest me. I was staying with this lady. Another Christian lady thought should have helped me. I mean, I couldn't work because of my condition. Because when I work, I get a job, I black out. And good work. I was working uptown at one point in my life. Good pay, but you can't blame them. They have to just let me go because I was getting sick. I couldn't do any job, nothing. My bank book empty again. My mother couldn't help. No family member helping me. And again, I couldn't go back in tavern. I was there for the first week and so everything was okay. Until the second week, the body just threw them clothes on the ground. I mean, I was sick and weak. And I had to take out the clothes and wash it with my hand like a maid. Wash our son clothes was there too. But I had to wash it, clean the house. It was a good sized house. Wash up the dish, cook, clean and wash and iron. I'm just lock up in my little cage like some Cinderella. And I cried and I prayed and I said, God, please help me through this. Please, Father. Anyways, one of my family member heard of a job, and I said, God help me. Me know me sick, but if me leave Jamaica, me know things will get better. Hey, when I went to the agency, the lady told me that is in Cayman, Grand Cayman Island. This was happening from I was a toddler right up to I'm 26. Right up to I'm 26. Yeah, right up to I'm 26. And when I was 26 now, I got the break to go over Cayman. Before I went over there, the lady sent $14,000 to get my permit sorted out and my passport. I was so excited. I pack up my suitcase and everything and stuff like that. I was so excited. I told my auntie Colleen at the time and stuff like that. She was still living there in Portmore.
So the family members who were abusing you or molesting you, they were in
Yes.
Jamaica?
Yeah, man. They live in Jamaica even now.
And
They
when
live in Jamaica.
when you say they used to abuse you, you're talking about physically, verbally, sexually, what?
It was sexually. It was sexually. You know, it was sexually. And as I was saying, I was scared because I locked it in because I was fearful. You understand? That no one would back me up or stand up for me when I speak out. No one was there that I can trust.
And
Because anybody that I confide.
This was an uncle, a father, a stepfather. Who was this person that was abusing you?
Father, person in the community, was a cousin. Yeah, man. And it was a cousin. Those were the ones that were doing those things to me. And I say, there's a spiritual lady in the church that I looked up to like an aunt. Because remember, my family were in their witchcraft. They study these things. They practice these things, and I'm not into it. So they're not going to love me for that. You understand? And they wanted to use me as sacrifice. So I wasn't up to it. So that's why I was here, there, everywhere, living with person. They started to take advantage of me. So when I heard about this big breakdown to Cayman, anyways, I got everything together. The lady sent the plane ticket. I went over there. It was okay again for 2 days. They showed me around. All it broke loose like on the Thursday. I remember it like this day. I can't get to eat. I wake up from 4:30 until even 1, 2 o'clock. When I get to eat nothing. I clean necessary, not because I'm here talking to you and viewers. I clean the place. I even do job that you work that is not in the job description. Because before I even went up there, she told me that my main focus was to take care of the little boy, right? That she was caring for, you know? And I wash, cook, and clean, and I iron for she and everybody in the house. You understand? Her daughter, even when she seen a period and stuff like that, them children, them nasty underwear, and I had to be washing them out and the stuff like that. They threatened me, and I couldn't say anything because this is the first ever travel in my life. I didn't have like a family member or no one that I could reach out to come to my rescue. So I had to stay in that house. One day now, looking after lunch for her son. He's 6 years of age. Because he saw what his mother was doing to me. So no one didn't care. He took up a knife like this. And he stabbed after me like this. And I screamed out and I called her and I said, "Me, Charmy, your son." And she kissed her teeth. And then her daughter come around and grab him. And said, "Suppose they call me Shadea. Suppose you stab me, Shadea, you know, you put me in a trouble." And I started to cry and I ran up my room. Didn't have any credit on my phone at that time because I didn't have any pay. Didn't get my pay. And I started to pray and I said, "Father God, please. I come up here. It soon reached the 1 week. Help me out of this situation, oh God. I don't want to go back to Jamaica." Until now, things get worse. Because she say her daughter started to stand up for me. Knowing that her sister was an hypocrite, talking to her on the phone. On the same boss phone, thinking that should have put her in her place and everything. And say, what kind of foolishness that you doing to Shade up there? Because I don't have time for eat. I don't have time for taking a break. But just I worked upon my foot. My foot swell up. Big like jackfruit up there. Understand? Nobody was there to defend me. Until one day, I just lose it. I said I couldn't manage it anymore. Because the unfairness, the disrespect, the lies, the pain. Then the day now, that was like the next day, which is a Friday, the mother came up to my room before she opened the room now. That was like, wasn't my time because I got everything finished and out the way. And she called me and I went outside and she said, what? I asked her, what you need? And she was like, nothing. I'm just checking on you to find out if you're okay. And I said, okay, miss. Anyways, I wanted to get some water like downstairs. And when I passed her, I know I'm not stupid. I'm a young grown adult. I remember when she touched me like on my bottom and she touched my breast and I flushed her. And I said, what did that woman here, man? And I said, what you doing? Viewer listeners, listen, me get mad. Me step fast down the stairs and me say, I'm tired of this now. Me sick and tired of people that take advantage of me. Everybody just want to come use me. Everybody thinks that me are this free for all. Everybody want to come molest me. Everybody just want to come do anywhere they want with me. I got mad. I had some things downstairs and I started to pack them up. Went upstairs past her and I started to pack up my suitcase. And I went to my boss and I said, listen, I need to go back in Jamaica. I said, I'm going to call the police. I'm tired right now. I'm tired right now. Any owner call the police. Any owner get me out of this place. So she started to get jittery now. She called her mother-in-law, which is near the block. She can walk and she came over with some food. And honestly, I can tell you I was so hungry that day because I never trust them now. I was so hungry. Then like a spirit inside of me say, don't eat the food. Don't eat the food, Shelly. Don't eat the food. But I just take a little bite because I was so weak. You understand? Jesus Christ. I don't know why I take the food and eat it. It's like afterwards I start to feel funny in my body. Like the place start to get dizzy and I couldn't like know myself. You understand? But I knew as I was in Cayman though, and I started to fight the fight. And I dragged my suitcase, took my time down the stairs, and when I left at the airport, and I came in Jamaica back with no money, no pay, nothing at all, just the clothes on my back and my suitcase. When I was out in the airport now, I was like, what's next? Because I came back with no money, no cash, nowhere to go. Because I didn't want to go back in tavern, you understand? Because the witchcraft don't just a turn up. But own a family member, them work witchcraft on me. Some of the community members, them. And I never going to go back over my father that was molesting me. You understand me? So, my mommy will make go. So I said, all right then. Mommy said, we're not a choice. So I'm going to make me stay again with the one of the church sister them. Because I was still sick. Anyways, I stayed there and everything. And it wasn't so good. The abuse again started. I was ill. I couldn't help myself. I was weak. And I still had to drag myself and clean the house. I still was blocking out the trauma. I will hit my head, even though I have marks in my head and scars on my hands from the series that I used to drop, the episode that I used to had. And I say, I can't take it no more. This time I didn't call my mother. I went out the house and I say, I'm tired of this now, God. Why don't take my life? Why put me in this world if I go through these things? I can't deal with it anymore. So I called one of my cousins, thinking that this would be my big breakthrough now. And I told her my situation I was undergoing with the lady, the Christian lady that I was staying with. And she said, come and stay with me. I started to go like on weekends until I started to go stay full time with her. Rotted fat. Until one night, I was in the bed lying down. I feel something like, like when the hand touching like something crawling, but I thought it was like an insect or something. So I flash it off. I'm feel the feeling I come again, not to know that it was a cousin that I trusted. She knew my pain. She knew the abuse that I got from my father. She knew the abuse that I got from a community member. She knew the abuse that I got from my own family. And here she was doing the same thing to me again. And I screamed out. She had a friend in the other room. I remember if she came out or what, you understand? And she threatened my life. She said, I tell anybody, should I kill me? So I ran out to the glass. I was crying.
You did say she, right?
Yes, it's a woman, not a man. It's a woman, my cousin, my blood cousin. And I held my head down and I felt like a sharp object. But I wasn't paying it in mind because I couldn't see. I was in front of the mirror. I held my head down to fix my hair because I had my plan to run for my life, but I had to do so neat because she had a friend, an ex-convict. You understand me? And I was a bit scared because of my memory loss. It come and go, come and go. So I didn't even remember my mom at one point. I didn't remember my address. So the only thing, the memory that was locked in my mind was that location that I was staying with my cousin. So the only thing I could remember was her and the persons around me. When I looked up, it was a machete around my neck. If I even turn my neck, I wouldn't be here sharing my experience or what I've been through with everyone here tonight. I started to cry and she said, "Don't move." And I said, "Me nah move." I said, "Me nah move." And she lifted the machete and she said, "Me I warn you, if you ever tell nobody, you're gonna do it. You." Anyways, my passport was in one of the drawer. I waited till she was asleep. I took it out, another bag. I started to pack. You understand? But they knew what I was up to because I was studying them. Didn't know that her other friend in the other room, she saw me and she whispered something. I saw them go in the other room and them say, "We're gonna leave, tonight." And I said, "I'm not gonna do nothing, for gonna kill me." And them grabbed me, went in the car, went out in the country. So the ex-convict now, she wants to set up with me now. She say, "I'm gonna carry you go eat dinner." And I tell you, this is 8:30 in the night. There's no restaurant up in that country area there. Because when I was passing, coming down, everybody lock up. They sell fish down. It's like fish vendors. And there was a sea there nearby. I'm hearing them a whisper. They were planning to kill me. And I start catch my afraid now. I was like, "God, I say you're gonna make this happen to me. Help me, please, Jesus. Help me, God, please." I never see like anybody who could have run to my rescue. Because he had this gun. The other one had a knife. So any move that I made, I would be a dead woman. So I had to be played the game with them. In the night now, when she and her other lesbian girlfriend now was asleep, the guy came over to me and started touching me up. And I said, "I'm tired of this now." I said, "Anyhow, you come near to me, the two of you go dead in you. Gun and a gun, me I go kill you." There was some knife in the drawer. And I rushed near to it. And he saw that I was serious and I held on to one of the knife. And I said, "Touch me again and you say, come, I'm going to kill off the whole of winning in here tonight." And I started to speak some explicit, derogative languages. And I said, "Back off." And I went near to the kitchen where the knife is. And I slept there. I didn't really sleep. My eyes was open, but I that I could not and wake and I was watching. I tell you, when my sister said sunlight, Jesus Christ, the nicest thing. I grabbed my look at things that I had and I rushed out the house. But I couldn't leave because they were there. You understand? He had a gun. So I was still scared because if I still made any smart move, he could have shoot me, kill me. And that time there, when people come to the community, it was a gated community, I would be dead already. So I waited until I was in the JUTC bus. And when I went up to her house now, I made an alarm. And that is when I ran and I got a phone call and I called my mother friend first. And then she called my mother. And I went downtown to my same cousin friend and I told her everything. I said, "Listen, you try anything now, the whole of now got prison. I'm sick and tired right now. You have your friend up there molest me. And the whole of know everything. I downtown me there, the whole of now got dead now. I'm tired of it." And that was when my mom came and she took me up back now in Tavern because I didn't have any choice, you see. In my life, I didn't have any choice. I had to go back up there and stay. And it was hard. Honestly, the episodes happened again. The seizures happened back and forth at the hospital. I reported my cousin. I went to the hospital. A friend of mine got me checked out. And again, they said I didn't find anything, but I had some scratch marks because I was wrestling with the man. So they kind of dressed me and stuff like that. And I was staying there battling until, I don't know, God is just real. When I was 28, it's 28 now. I prayed, I fast, I prayed. This one is your time, listeners. Nothing can stop you. When it's your time and God step in and say, enough is enough. When you make up your mind and say, enough is enough, and you start to fight, I got on a series of fasting and praying. I said, God, deliver me, oh Lord. I fast, I fast. I went on 7 days fasting. I remember that until this day, another cup of water. And I said, God, I'm here worshiping you. And I have a man, and I'm faithful to you. So many things that happen in my life. I'm tired of it. Deliver me. I remember that night, I remember it so clear. I got my deliverance.
Well, all right, family, listen, the story did not end there. Her life did turn around in the end. It ended great, right? She turned her life around and she started to flourish. If you want to hear what happened next, click the link in the description. It will take you to the very exact video where you can continue listening to the rest of the story. While you're there, remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so whenever we do go live, you will get notified and be able to participate in the topic. Also remember to hit the subscribe button on the recap channel as well, so that once we drop another recap, you will get notified. And if you're watching on Facebook, please click the follow button so that you don't miss another recap. Until the next Unstoppable Recap, stay strong, stay motivated, but most of all, remain unstoppable.
Unstoppable.